remember bingo things like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. This is so nice.
These are the pictures she sent me. She had taken, oops, that's not right, that's another house.
I'll be taking pictures too. He discusses it when he,
That's
yeah.
the house.
Yeah, see, this part possibly is here.
That's right, that is the
little
house.
recess, that's right.
Yeah,
And this
that's
roof
right.
line comes down here.
That's right.
And this is this part here.
Mhm.
Got it.
See, and this, the
It's
wood
shaded.
slats
Yeah.
here, been painted over.
Mhm.
It's too, you can see it. But this is this house, but it's
Yeah,
not.
but
If
she
it's
said
that
all
house-
this together.
Yeah, but if it's that house, something got changed.
Well, something's
Something
weird
was
here
changed,
somewhere.
yeah.
I don't know what.
Yeah, I mean, this is this house, this one here.
Oh, yeah, it's the house. I know that.
Yeah, but that picture there, if it's this house, it was either before it got changed or after it got changed, something
But
happened.
her father built it, so I don't know what the deal is.
Is he alive?
It's beyond me.
Is he alive? I don't know.
Dig him
No,
up and
no,
find-
he's not
Dig him
alive.
up and find out.
No, no,
We can't dig him up and find out?
no, I don't think so. Nope, afraid not.
Could try.
Nope. That's,
That's what I get, that was the website here.
I'm sure they signed the book.
Yes, they did.
This thing weighs a ton.
It is kind of heavy.
It's heavy. That's much over there saying, that's heavy.
I was beginning to wonder if I was gonna get it in that book.
Yeah. I think we'll put this over, I want to take it home and read some of it though. I think maybe we'll put it over on that far
Okay,
place at the top and let people,
that's fine.
is that good?
That's fine.
It kind of fits in there as much as anywhere. I can't believe you've done this. I mean, this must have taken forever.
It took
A while.
a while.
Yeah, I
I
would think so.
I think when we had the opening, I had either just started or I started it
Oh
right
my gosh.
after that.
It's the mobile version of the website.
This Cox family was one of the original early families in the city, and one of their children, it says, was born in Chubb, as Lake Alfred used to be known as Chubb. So it's interesting to have a reference to someone who was born in Chubb.
Where was the actual location of Fort Cummings? Because from what I hear, it wasn't exactly where the marker is.
Well, we were just talking about that.
Because I did went to go film it, but I know, when I understand, it wasn't actually there. And I wasn't sure why they put it there.
Yeah.
I'll let Betty answer that question for you. As far as
I got stuff out.
the actual location of where Fort Cummings was, as opposed to where the marker is.
Well, we're not quite sure. The marker is probably close. It's on the edge of the lake. It was on the edge of Lake Alfred, probably, on the old Auburndale Road. Are you familiar with that? Going the old way to Auburndale. You go down. Are you familiar with Lake Alfred? You go down
A little
Haynes
bit.
Boulevard.
We could find it.
Or Pierce Street.
If you know where the LA
Pierce.
Diner is, there's a sign that says Fort Cummings.
Yeah, well, that's what he's
Yeah.
looking at right now. But the marker is quite a distance from the fort itself. But if you turned right at the marker and went out that street and kept on going, you're going on a back road to Auburndale.
Okay,
And after you cross the
And go back.
railroad, on the left, not very far around, you're gonna see a small marker sitting up in some kind of weedy area, just off the lakefront, not very far. And that is where, in the area that they think Fort Cummings was. Fort Cummings was not a huge fort, it was an overnight place for resting between Tampa, which was Fort Brooke, and Ocala, which is Fort King, which are both large forts. So the soldiers, either walking or on horseback, were resting for the night in these very smaller forts along as they were going from one area to another. And also it was a kind of place for them to be safe from Indians, because we had those wandering around too. So, and Fort Cummings, the most famous thing about Fort Cummings is that the Indian whose name was Coacachee, Wildcat, came here and partially surrendered to the U.S. Army at this fort. And he was the major Indian in the Seminole tribe next to Osceola. So that makes this fort more important than it would be otherwise. Otherwise, it would have been a very small overnight resting place for soldiers. But on the bottom are records of the fort itself. So it was important enough that they kept records and that kind of thing. And we are looking into more information on it. It's a little bit hard to find information on Fort Cummings. We're working on it. And hopefully we will have more. But it's all very interesting. The Seminole background in Florida is very interesting in itself. So there's just a lot to it. So,
So you are looking into more information?
oh, yes,
on it?
ma'am. We are.
Maybe you could give them your email?
Yeah, we
And
will.
when we come around and then.
Please do. Yes. Do you live in the area?
Yeah, we live in Winter Haven, actually.
In Winter Haven. Well, yeah, I'm working on Fort Cummings. That's my next big thrust. We've got the museum put together and we're quite proud of it now. And I'm working on getting the fort, more information on the fort itself, because that is, we want to have school children come in here on tours, and they will be more interested in Indians than they will in anything else. You know, they'll love that.
You've got that.
So anyway, I'm working on it, and this just happens to be one reference book. We've got others that we're taking the information out of. It just doesn't have that much information about it, because it wasn't that big a fort. But that one connection, which this marker talks about, when the Wildcat came in with his group, they had found a Shakespearean troupe up nearer to St. Augustine, somewhere, a traveling troupe of actors. Well, they loved their costumes, so they just killed the actors and took their costumes. And so, as they came into Fort Cummings, they were dressed in these Shakespearean outfits, which were, I'm sure, kind of an interesting sight for the soldiers that were there, thinking, oh my gosh, what in the world? Indians, frightening enough probably, but dressed in these costumes, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So that's the background for this, and for the national marker being where it is. But it's just telling you to go out that street toward where the fort is. And that's the back road to Auburndale, the old road. So you cross the railroad track and then go down just a little bit further, like a quarter of a mile or maybe less, to the left. And you're gonna see a metal marker sticking up in some kind of weedy area that states that's probably where they think the fort
Is
approximately.
there a address for that, so we could
No,
put it
ma'am.
in? Oh,
No, there's no address.
Should be able to find it.
Yeah.
If not, we can always call here and ask again.
yeah.
Yeah, you all can find it pretty easily. It's not that hard to find.
Now, is there any other markers, historical markers like that in Lake Alfred for any other
Yes.
thing?
We have one around here for
You probably got it.
the Citrus Research Center.
Go ahead, I want to take pictures.
Yeah, I seen that sign, but I don't know what,
Okay, the Citrus Research Center is out this way as you're going toward Haines City.
is that an Exploration
Beg
Drive?
pardon?
Is it Exploration Avenue, I think?
No, it's Experiment Station Avenue.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
meant.
Experiment, yes.
And isn't there an older cemetery in that street too?
Well, that is the city cemetery that's right there.
That's what I was thinking
Yeah,
too.
but the Citrus Research Center is the most famous citrus research center in the world, right here.
Oh.
So the background for it is quite interesting. It was established in 1917, still is the most famous one. I don't know whether you've read or heard anything about this citrus disease we have now called greening, which is about to do our industry in. Well, the most famous scientists working on that in the world are out there at Lake Alfred. They're from China, they're from Brazil, they're from all over the world, and they're working very, very hard trying to find a cure or something to stop the screening. It's
Now-
very, very famous.
Can anybody go up to that sign? Because I used to like to take pictures
Yes,
of them.
they
Okay.
can. Yes, it's right near the main, you'll see it. It's pretty visible,
Okay.
yes. That's the only two signs that I can think of that are here in Lake Alfred. I don't believe we've got any others, but that place is quite well known. I mean, they don't care to be well known, but they are very famous just because they're so important to our industry, to the citrus industry. And this is an early picture of it. Over here now, they have buildings as well, where the groves were. And this is the original, and that sign, I believe, is right along in here somewhere. Right beside that, but it doesn't exactly look like that, because there are trees over on that side too, oak trees or big trees there now. It looks very different. But anyway, that is an old picture of the research center.
Now, if I understand correctly, this used to be a bank, this building?
Yes,
When did it
it
cease
was
to be a
built as a
bank?
bank. It was built in the 20s. And after the last group of bankers decided they weren't going to use this building anymore as a bank, they allowed the last banker to move into it as a home. So the inside was all done over to make this into a home for
Oh, so
him.
I'm assuming they took the vault out and everything?
They took every bank stuff out of it, yes, the vault.
So the inside didn't quite look like this?
No,
I didn't think so.
it didn't at all. And we've got more rooms back here. We've got 2 more rooms to look at. Have you been back?
Not yet, no.
No, okay. Those were like bedrooms. The back part, which is on this side, was the kitchen. And we've changed all it around because when it became a city building, then it had to have handicap bathrooms. So we took out the kitchen in order to make that a handicap bathroom.
Now, is there any pictures of what it looked like inside when it was a bank?
We've got a couple of pictures. I'm not real sure. I'm still going through some pictures, and let me look in here just a minute to see.
Is this it, or do we go in there? No.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Let me ask you something.
Sure.
Where is some of these people of interest buried? Does he sometimes?
Well, the Lake Alfred Cemetery, which he just told me he knows where that
Yeah.
is.
We went there.
It's
Okay,
on
No, no,
Experiment
you're-
Station Road.
You're thinking of the one in Bartow, it's different.
because there's some certain people there.
Well, the Lake Alfred Cemetery has the oldest people that we've got in town buried out there.
Can you read the names?
Yes, ma'am.
Sometime, okay. Oh, another little room. Boy Scouts.
We don't have, I am still looking for some pictures of the inside of the bank, and I shall find some sooner or later, I'm sure. Somebody's gonna have some.
So you think they exist?
Oh, yeah, I think so. This is the depot that was here. It's been torn down. There's a picture of it,
Isn't that pretty?
and had stained glass windows in it.
Now, when was that torn down?
After the centennial, because that was painted red, white, blue for the centennial, the bicentennial, I should say, the country's bicentennial. It was torn down sometime after that. The railroad was not using this as a stopping. This is the track from Tampa to New York. It's a major track of the railroad, but they weren't using the station any longer. So they told the city that they could have the building, but they had to move it off of their railroad property, and the city didn't. So anyway, it got torn down. But this is a window out of it, a stained glass window, and a few things. This is a school that was here in town, which has also been torn down, unfortunately.
All this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they do monitoring, they have more problems with those.
Yeah.
What is the oldest building in town?
Well, let me show you something up here, and then I can tell you more carefully. This upper picture right here is in the early, actually before 1920. So this house right here is over about a block past the hotel. You know where the Southern Gardens is.
Yes, I know where it
Yeah,
is.
okay. On the other side of that is a big house that sits there. That's it. That's one of the oldest buildings in town. That's prior to
It's
1920.
high on the list of things.
There's no buildings over on this side that are still here.
Very high.
Now, we come down to late 1920s.
Right.
Here's this house, right there.
It's-
Here's the beginnings of the Southern Gardens, which then was a hotel.
Because that is.
Here's this building.
I mean, because
Here's the
apparently
bank.
there have been a lot of people who.
Here's the Women's Club, which is still here.
You see it.
You can look out this window right here, it's down in the next block. It's now a Masonic building, you know, by the Masonic group. And then the rest of it's Grove, more or less. So actually, this house right here is one of the oldest buildings in town, and it's still there.
I'm assuming it's probably a private residence.
No, it's not.
It is a residence, and it's not occupied right
It's the
now.
arbor, but I don't know what they.
So we can go take a
It's
picture
the
of it?
Gardner family, and the Gardners really are called the founders of Lake Alfred.
Look at this.
Right.
But anyway, so that's as old as, let me show you this other room, and you all can go in here too if you like.
Richard has,
This is our research room, and these are old records of the city. So, and we have this all organized so that it looks like it's indomitable, but it really isn't, because it's all ledgered. So if you're looking for the tax list of 1937, it will be in the 2A section right there.
Wow.
So it's all pretty easy to, this just happens to be a book we pulled out. This is an old lean book of the city of Lake Alfred, from 1920 to 1929.
Wow.
All handwritten in it. Well, where did I have it? I had it where we had handwriting. Oh, here we go. There we are. Anyway, so this is just more like a research room for people to come in and do research if that's what they have in mind to be doing. So you're all welcome to look around.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
I want to ask you something.
Mhm.
Now, my ex, I have some stuff from him when he was a Boy Scout.
Uh-huh,
This is years ago.
yeah.
Would you be interested?
Oh,
It's not from here, from New
Absolutely.
York.
Oh, no, absolutely, I'd love it.
Because I don't know what to do with it. And I
Okay,
don't want to toss it, I don't want to give it, because I know there's some history. I
yeah.
don't want to keep it.
Well, most of the scout collection in here is from my family. My husband and my children and I, we're all scouts here in Lake Alfred. We grew up here.
Okay.
And we'd love to add that to it.
Okay.
And I'll give you a card, and then you can give me a call, and I'll meet you here, or, because we are only open right now.
Saturdays, 10.
Or I think
11 to
11
2.
yeah.
But my phone number is on the, and I'll give you a card. so
Yeah.
you- And my cell number, and I am in business here, so I'm here every day. I'm not
Okay.
here, but here in
Okay.
town. here.
Well, we got that in storage, because I'm looking for a place to move to. So this is nice, and up to Tampa or here.
Yeah,
We're looking for a place
yeah,
we
yeah.
can buy. But when we go through that storage,
Okay, well, let me give you my card
Yes.
today, and you all just continue to look and enjoy
Yes.
what you're doing.
now what's this? Wait, what was here?
Well, there wasn't anything. This was a closet, because this was a
Closet.
bedroom, see?
Okay, I thought it was.
So
closet.
anyway, we haven't finished.
Okay.
We've only really gotten ourselves open since June.
Okay.
So
You've got
So
yeah,
we've done quite well.
And you think
Okay.
you're gonna permanently stay at this location?
Oh, this is ours, I hope. It belongs to the city. The building belongs to the city. So I hope we're here.
Yeah.
Yes, I
You
think
can
so.
even make room for that after.
Well, I will, but at
Okay.
this point, that screen is just happens to be an old screen.
Okay,
from an
yeah,
old
I know, I
family.
see
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
I'll give you a card.
Okay.
What do you think that's for, storage?
Probably. You can ask.
I don't suppose that could be the attic.
Are they Lake Alfred people?
No, I don't think so. You live in Winter Haven, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, Winter Haven, Charlie.
You have any-
Charlie Lake is our mayor of town, of Lake Alfred.
You want mine?
Yeah, just
Come here, Ben.
just write on, you know, a piece of paper, just write it on. But I might have.
Here's my name. I had to start a new email because my other one, I guess, it filled up. Yeah, I had like a Verizon.net email and it,
How's it fill up?
well, I've had the same one for like 20 years, so I guess it
Well,
just
it
reached
gets
the
it up
point.
unless you're not deleting your emails.
Every so often I go through and clean it out, but then people, there was like 5 people who told me they had sent me emails, but I didn't work, and Valerie was one of them.
Well, see what your limitations are.
You're welcome.
Evidently. So I started a new
All
one,
these little things.
but I'll give you a new one.
Be surprised what you find.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah.
And he does these too. That's my son.
Yeah,
Does these.
yeah, I think
They have a
that's,
good one up at, Lakeland,
in Bar-
where is that, Lakeland?
No, that's in Bartow.
Oh, Bar-
At the old
Well, Bartow's
at the old courthouse.
And it's old.
Yeah, it's like, City Hall or,
No, it's
Yeah, courthouse.
courthouse.
yes.
Yeah,
And that is interesting.
oh, yeah, very.
Because they open a couple more sections up. That's interesting.
Have you been in the county museum, in the courthouse, in the old courthouse?
What's the difference? Like,
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, that's the one we were in.
Yeah. Well, Connie Black, who is here, works at the county museum, volunteers there as well. So we're very proud,
Yes.
we're very proud of the county
You
museum.
probably see us walking in now.
Well, you know, I think maybe I have, because you do look a little familiar to
Yeah,
me.
that's where, and they just opened up the female
Yes,
old
yes.
Yeah.
dress.
Isn't that
And
beautiful?
another woman does that.
Mm-hmm. Joanna, I can't think of her last name, Joanna.
Yeah, and we just went there and they opened up the Indian place, which it was closed because it was
They were clean.
powder or
I think
something.
they were cleaning it.
Indian?
They were cleaning it.
Yeah, they were cleaning it, that's it. That's what's it, my baby.
Yeah.
So, to be how old I am.
Well, it's wonderful that you all can do things together. That's very nice.